Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting, phenomenal, amazing, I don't know, week of movies, music, and middle age. This is Matt, as always, with my buddy Jordan. Say hello.
Wonderful crumulent episode in this March weather. Hello,
Yes,
everybody.
yes, hello. So, we don't want to be the kind of people who make a promise and then go back on that promise. So, I know a few weeks ago, probably a month ago, if not more at this point, we said we were going to do a multi-part series on the 1990s top-selling albums. We stopped for a long time, probably a lot longer than we should have. But we are back with part number two, right? So we did 1990, the top-selling albums of 1990. This week, we are finally back with part two. We are doing 1991. Some of you may not have been born at that point. Some of you might have been older.
I feel like most people listening to this podcast,
Fair enough. Fair
except for
enough.
like one or two, were
Yeah.
born. But yes,
Yeah. So,
we're
yeah,
hip with the Zennials.
we're all people
They
are all generations are welcome here on
they
movies
think
movie
we're
village.
righteous dudes.
They think oh, they think he's a toy. Yeah, they think he's a righteous dude. Yeah, so we did 1990 again a few weeks ago. I don't remember how long ago it was, but now we are back with 1991. Eventually, we want to go through the entire decade of the 90s. So I want to clarify, as I did the last time, these are not our choices. These are not our favorite albums. These are strictly the top 10 selling albums of the year 1991. So we didn't pick these. We were going to say what we think about them, but we didn't make these choices. So just to be clear. So before we start working our way backwards from number 10, Jordan, is there anything you'd like to add for the nice people? Any shout outs, anything fun, or do we just want to jump right into it?
Um, this was not as painful as 1990, but
Yeah, I would
that's
agree with that. I
that's
will
all
agree.
that's all I'll say there.
I will agree with that. I actually know some of these. Okay. So drum roll, please. Number 10. Do you want to share number 10, Jordan?
Number 10,
Hmm.
your favorite and
Everyone's
mine,
favorite.
Chris Barnes. No,
No.
oh, I mean his alter ego, Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks.
What? Was it Chris Barnes? Was that his alter ego when he
I don't
decided to go rock
know.
and roll?
I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember anything about. I remember
Chris
two. And this is
Gaines. This is
this.
Chris
Chris
Gaines.
Gaines sounds like the name of a serial killer. It
Yes,
does. Chris
Chris
Gaines.
Gaines, the alter
Uh,
ego of
yeah.
Garth Brooks, an
I
album that is impossible to listen to because it's impossible to find, and also because it's just not good.
this is not a joke. The only two things. So I was, depending on what month it was, I was either 10 or 11 in 1991. But the only thing I truly remember about Garth Brooks is he had those horrible button-down shirts where one side was one color, the other side was a different color. I remember the stupid microphone, right? He didn't sing it to a mic on a stand. He had the microphone like,
And
to the
so many
side of his
people
mouth.
do that now too.
Oh, it's the worst.
So
It's
many
the
people
worst.
do that.
And,
Mostly dancers.
and I swear, this I could be wrong on. The other two, I'm 100% sure. I swear I saw videos of him back in the day like doing his concerts and he had like a harness on and he would fly through the audience and shit like that. I could be wrong on that. That may be a fever
Like
dream that I
Pink.
had. You're right. Well, yeah, but just,
He's he's doing
10 years.
acrobatics.
I, I,
He's got an
I'm,
8 pack, so he can do that.
I heard he's shredded. So the album, number 10, top selling album, 1991, which just blows my mind that it sold enough copies. It
He was
Roping in the Wind,
probably
not
the
roping,
first
like
um
crossover,
artist.
mainstream.
Yes, like he was the kind of music that you could expect to hear places where you would not expect to hear country, whereas
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
country music is a lot more mainstream. Back
Yes.
then, if you liked country music, you kind of whispered it and really only your close friends knew you did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, listen, to clarify, well, I don't want to speak for Jordan, but I think we're on the same page. We're not suggesting at all that Garth Brooks was the first country artist that sold albums. We're strictly saying that he was the first one to kind of what break into the top 10 biggest selling albums of any year, right? In mainstream
Yes.
music, right? But Ropin' in the Wind, Ropin apostrophe, not roping. He's way too cool for. There's going to be a lot of apostrophes actually in this list. Um, but we'll give you a little teaser there.
Roping.
So, do you want to say anything? I have lots to say, but I'll let you go first. If you want to just jump into it, maybe I'll just feedback off of you there.
Really, the only thing about this was he's got a Billy Joel song. That's
Does
it.
it?
That's it. Yeah,
I looked at the track
Shameless.
listing. Oh, okay. All right. I
Shameless
didn't
by Billy
I listened to
Joel.
a few. I did not listen. I'm not gonna listen to the full album. I'm sorry. I did listen to I listened to the singles, so I didn't realize. Okay.
But other than that, I mean, it's and I have started enjoying more country music in my older age. I've been to a
This
few country shows like uh Zach Brown Band. I
okay.
enjoyed their music quite a bit, but this was not
This
the
is
shit for me back
this
then
isn't this
at all. Like I can't rodeo. Am I
yeah.
really gonna get
Yeah.
down with rodeo?
No, no, no. I'm gonna preface this to be fair and not try to mislead here. I am not a big country guy. I don't really like it. Some Johnny Cash I'm cool with.
Oh yeah, Johnny Cash. That's completely different.
All my exes live in Texas. I know it's not Johnny Cash. Don't please don't comment and say that it is. Stuff like that's fine, but
Don't break my achy breaky heart. I know you're big into that.
Mr. Papa Cyrus. But
Don't
that's
break
pretty much
my
it for me,
heart.
honestly. But I listen to some of the singles, like you said. I listen to Rodeo. I genuinely listen. I listen to every single on this album, and I remember when we did 1990. There were a couple of songs where I said, the verse would come on. I said, I don't know. So in the chorus, oh, okay, I know this, right? It kind of, but nothing. I heard the singles,
No,
and I don't remember hearing any of this.
no, this
These
was
songs did
not.
nothing for me. Nothing.
There wasn't a lot of Garth Brooks pumping in Brooklyn at the time where I lived. We weren't really. I didn't. No one's boombox was going off with
With Garth
"Roping in the
Brooks.
Wind" with Garth Brooks. So
Speaking of Bed-Stuy, I want to. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here. I
I mean,
want
it
to
wasn't
do.
Bed-Stuy, but
I know you didn't live in Bed-Stuy. I would love to do an episode of Do the Right Thing, but that's in a whole other conversation. But yeah, this music does nothing for me.
no.
I didn't recognize it truly, sincerely. I made an effort to listen to singles. I don't remember any of this. I don't really have much to say other than Garth Brooks is kind of lame. But I don't know if you disagree. But
I personally don't. Um,
so
this
sorry.
was not the country music that
This is not.
this is I don't know. This is still like that country music I used to make fun of, where it's like, hey,
I don't. But even you know what I would. So it's funny you say that
grabbing the
because
oversized belt buckle and shit like that.
I don't think time has proven us wrong. Like I don't really think like oh it was lame back then. Now people it's got like what's the expression, right? Sometimes people revisit stuff and they say what, it was actually ahead of its time, or it was good. It really wasn't that bad. I don't really people know who talks about Garth Brooks. I don't really. I
No
feel like
one.
he's kind of just yeah. I don't think it's held
Garth
up.
Brooks was like a certain generation's Elvis. Like it's I
But
think
people still
people
listen
love.
to Elvis. That's my point, though, right? Like
Do people still listen?
nobody's
If you listen to Garth Brooks and you're listening to us right now, first off, what are you doing? Second off, what's the allure?
no.
What's going
There's
on there? He seems
that's the
like a
point that
good
I'm making,
dude.
though.
I mean, I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
know.
But that's my point, though.
His
Is
name
like
doesn't come up in the in the
his music
news.
is kind of he had his 15 minutes, maybe a lot more than that, right? But he had his
No,
time, but he's not had a critical revisiting when people said, you know what, we were wrong. He's actually no, he's just kind of came and went, and I think it's gone. So
but he was around for a while.
he
I'll
was,
I'll give him that. He made it
but
came and went, but he was around for a long
I've
time.
I'm a big music guy. I play music. I'm in a band, and I'm hanging around a lot of musical people, and nobody talks about Garth Brooks. Not even like I listen to Garth Brooks. Nobody does it. But anything else before we go to number nine?
I don't want to tell anyone about this, but I
We're
murdered a
listening to
man
Garth
and I
Brooks.
listened to Garth Brooks. Don't tell
Uh,
anyone about the Garth Brooks. No, I have nothing else to say.
all right. Sorry, Garth. Sorry to the not Garth Algar either. Sorry to anybody else who likes him. But all right,
Bye,
number
Garth.
nine.
Bye.
We're
Bye,
back.
Garth.
Bye, Garth. I don't even have many guns. All right, sorry. Agon, damn it. Another apostrophe. Back at our number nine. Jordan, you want to tell the people what number nine is?
Guns in roses.
Guns in roses.
Use your illusion.
My illusion or
Dose.
your illusion? My illusion. Your
Everyone's.
illusion.
Everyone
Everyone's
listen.
illusion. Oh,
Use your illusion.
use your illusion too.
Your you
So
are
not
illusion.
you are welcome to
Oh,
your doom.
yes.
I'm gonna go first in this one if you don't mind, and maybe we'll
Please.
pop back and forth.
Should
So
we talk about this as a double?
I thought I did think about that. No, it'll just lead into if they weren't back
No.
to back, I would say yes, but they are back to back, so it doesn't matter.
Back to
I
back
think I
and belly to belly. Rest in peace, John Sterling.
I think I prefer this album to Use Your Illusion one. I don't know if it's really that. Civil War is a very very good song. I Strange is awesome.
I own this on cassette.
Do you? Okay, I have it on CD.
Yeah.
Estranged is a great song. I remember Dolphins on a and there was like a boat, but I think Estranged is a really, really epic song. I think you could be mine as a classic, another one from our Terminator 2 discussion a while back. I don't know. I think this album holds up better.
Don't
I also
Cry, fucking
yeah,
phenomenal. One of my
that's what I'm
favorite.
saying. No,
One
that's
of my
not no, that's the other one. That's the other one.
Oh,
Don't Cry is
no,
the
I'm
other one.
looking at the look at Don't Cry
No,
right
check
now.
again. Check again.
All right.
Don't
Well,
Cry is Use Your Illusion 1, and you lose points now.
I'm looking
Um,
at it from Spotify lied to me. I don't
Spotify
know.
is lying to you.
Don't Cry is
We'll
on
we'll put up to maybe they did I don't know, an alternate version. But
maybe.
these albums, well, Use Your Illusion 1 and Use Your Illusion 2, I think this is sort of the peak, right? Before they kind of, I mean, after Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, there was the spaghetti incident, and then there was nothing for like 15 years. But all right, what do you have to say about this album? I
I
actually enjoy
mean,
this album a lot. I mean, there's some filler, whatever. I think they would have been better off making it as one bigger album and trimming the fat, but I think I like this album.
I no, I like this album. I mean, I think Chinese Democracy was better, but no, I'm kidding. I'm joking. That was not well worth the time. I mean, this has Knocking on Heaven's Door.
They might have a,
They rocked the shit out of that one. I remember whether it was the video or something. I think he
yeah.
had like the
Yeah,
white
yeah, the
puff on
bicycle
the
shorts.
microphone and the
Oh,
bicycle
oh,
shorts on.
oh, oh, oh. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about the bicycle short. Yeah, he had. Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah, I wasn't reminiscing about the bicycle
Hey,
shorts,
listen, there's no
but
judgment-free zone here. Yeah, the it
but
was like to muffle like yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
know what you're talking about. He had a red
but
one, I think too.
I'm gonna say it for this. Don't Cry was on this one. I'm looking at it on Spotify.
Well, I've
Love that
checked, so
song.
I
One of
guess
my
my
favorites.
my research was tainted, I guess, for lack of a better term.
But no, this is a great album. Guns N' Roses was that their shit
They were
was
everywhere. They were
great
on.
back in the early 90s.
Yes,
Actually, I should say late 80s, early 90s.
yes.
Um, and
87,
now you
88.
can catch it on classic rock, but that's a that's a story for another day. Uh,
So you
no,
own
they
this
were
on
just
cassette then?
awesome. I owned this on cassette. I owned Use Your Illusion 1 on cassette, and I owned
Okay,
Appetite for Destruction on cassette.
on cassette.
On
Look at you.
cassettes. Look at me, not
Okay.
able to buy a CD player. Still
Okay, so
listening to
then
it in my room on my boombox.
I will transition right into number eight, and I'll let you grab this one right away. So yeah, number eight, surprise, surprise, is another Guns N' Roses album. Use Your
Mm.
Illusion 1, ladies and gentlemen. So you can
You've got
take
to
a
use it twice.
Is it true?
So okay, you know
If
what?
you don't use it, you lose it, Jordan.
I see. It looks like it's on. Don't Cry is on both. So
Aha.
there's an original and it's on this on the second one.
Suck
So
it, Alex Trebek.
I'll take Ape Tit for 200. Um,
I'll take S words for a
as
thousand.
Live and Let Die, awesome. No, it's a cover. Still
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, so
Um,
was Knocking on Heaven's Door, but yeah.
November fucking Rain.
100%, dude. Yeah.
November fucking Rain. You can still hear the dun, 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 at the beginning where it's I'm like I try to play this so I try to play this for my
I
kids.
hope this is oh, I thought you were gonna say I tried on piano when I was taking
So
lessons or something as a kid.
some of
Okay.
these like so I've played this one for my kids and it just reminded me of I played not this one. I was listening to just regular music, but I was listening to like stuff that I thought was cool. I'm like, oh, let's listen to this song. Like I've listened to November Rain and Don't
Hmm.
Cry and shit like that with
Yeah.
my kids, and they look
Yeah.
at me like I'm like, you gotta hear this. You gotta hear this. And they look at me and they're like, is this over yet?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you mean is this over yet? Have you heard this?
Yes.
This is fucking awesome.
It
And it
is
reminded me of
the
being a
Louis.
kid
Oh.
myself, and my father would be going like, hey, come over here. I want you to listen to this Jethro Tull song. It's Locomotive Breath. It's so good. It's Aqualung. Come listen to Aqualung.
Have
And
you
I'm like,
ever
holy shit, I'm now my dad making
Yes,
my
you
kids
are
listen
that
to
guy.
music.
Have you seen, I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but it's kind of related. Have you ever seen the show Louis on FX, the old Louis show, Louis
Uh,
C.K.? There's a bit in there
one or two.
where there's a whole 7 minute scene where he's in his car driving somewhere and he has his daughters in the back seat. And then as he's driving unexpectedly, the Who song comes on.
Yeah, yeah.
Who. And he turns it up and he's trying to do the same thing. He's trying to get his daughters into. He starts playing air guitar and there's just nothing is coming from. You should look it
Yes.
up. It's
And that
literally
was
the
pretty much
Yeah.
I will just say I really wish he wasn't a piece of shit. Um,
Well,
I'll just say
yes, but
that.
in this case, it's not relevant. But yes.
In this case, not relevant. Just need to throw that out
Um,
there. Okay, but
I
that's my feelings
okay.
towards this one.
I'm gonna say this subjectively. I think November Rain is their best song. That's my subjective opinion. I also think November Rain is one of the it's just one of the best songs ever written, period. I think I honestly put it up there with something like Bohemian Rhapsody. It's a similar kind of vein, I
It's
understand, but
so
I
good.
think it is a freaking masterpiece. There's not a wasted note in that whole song. It's so perfectly constructed from a
And it was very
musician.
theatrical. It's funny that you bring
It's
up Queen
amazing.
because Queen was always very theatrical, and this
Yes.
song is very theatrical and bombastic
I mean, the
and
music video is
yes,
amazing. I mean, I'm not a
Slash out there and shredding in the desert or something, like on a mountain or so. I
yeah,
don't
yeah. Well, there
know.
was a church. There was a church. There was a church. And
Yeah,
then
there's
yeah,
church, but he's
yeah,
outside, like the wind is
yes,
whipping
yes.
around. What a
I'm
badass
not a
Jew.
I mean,
What a
some music videos
badass
are
Jew.
just whatever, whatever. Saul Hudson, yeah, Saul
I had to
Hudson.
say it twice.
Yes, no, we we caught it both times. That video. Sometimes you watch a video and you're like, "What does this have to do with the song?" That video perfect relative to that song. Does that make sense? Right? Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
perfectly
It's
fits.
weird. It's not weird, but it's like it's over the top, epic. The rain, the rose
And
dripping on the
Stephanie
coffin.
Seymour, when she was still
Stephanie
in love
Seymour,
with Axel, I was gonna say his real name, and now I can't remember what it was. William
Axel
Axelrod.
Foley. It's a different.
Achmel, Ackwell.
Is
Foley is
that a
here to see
different?
her. Okay. Anything else you want to say about User Illusion
No, I
1,
mean
which did have Don't Cry on
they
it?
both did.
Anything?
I love
I know
Don't
that.
Cry, but
All right. So
anyway,
anything else?
no,
Okay. Number 7, I think it goes back to me at this point.
we miss you, Axel.
Sega Genesis, We Can't Dance. I'm sorry, Genesis.
Sega.
Sega. Genesis, We Can't Dance. I'll start off. I actually own this album. I don't care. I did own this album. This is probably the quote softest album that I owned as a kid in that era. I did not even back then as a 10-year-old. I was like, oh, I feel kind of soft buying this album because it's like Guns N' Roses Metallica.
It came
Uh,
out and was automatically yacht rock.
this was. I'll put it this
It
way.
was
I'll put it
yacht
this way.
rock before you didn't have a need a yacht, but it was a yacht rock
The
immediately.
the only person that knew I owned this album on cassette was probably my mother. I was not going to school and be like, dude, did you check out the Genesis album? We
I
Can't
just went to
Dance.
the I just went
Fucking
to the
sick.
store. I picked up Garth Brooks,
I don't
Broken
think
in
I
the
went to
Wind, and
this.
Genesis.
I think like I was like, Mom, if I give you $10, can you go into Camelot Music and buy We Can't Dance and don't tell anybody? Tell them it's for you. I own this album on cassette. I might still have it somewhere. I did
I
own
mean,
this album on
I
cassette.
Can't Dance was everywhere,
Yes. Oh my, it's a great song.
everywhere. It is a good
You know what
song.
it is?
This album isn't bad, but it's like every
listen,
other Genesis Phil Collins album. It's like
it's
I'll
a
listen
fun
to
song.
it. Eh, yes,
But listen, I think the
it's no
Memory is
indie air.
a musical masterpiece. I really do think it's a masterpiece song. This song is fun. But there's nothing wrong with fun, right? It doesn't everything doesn't have to be
No,
like, oh my God, it's perfect. It
no,
could just be sometimes music could just be
doesn't have to be
enjoyable.
prestige.
Right.
Not everything has to be a
Correct.
prestige song.
Correct. And it's not. No, We Can't Dance is not, or I Can't Dance is not prestige, but it's just fun. Who cares? There's nothing wrong with that. But I actually
No,
prefer, I don't know if you, did you own this album? I don't know if you know any of
I
the cuts
did
on it.
not own. My family was very, they were very much a Peter
I,
Gabriel Genesis, and they felt that
oh,
Genesis after Peter Gabriel was crap. So they
I
had Peter
am
Gabriel
a,
Genesis, but not Collins Genesis.
I am a massive, not Peter Gabriel solo album fan. His first 4 albums are phenomenal. I would talk about that for an hour, which I won't on this podcast. But Peter Gabriel is a musical genius, and I mean that in the sincerest sense of the word. But anyway,
And his videos were awesome.
Peter Gabriel's a fucking genius. Period. I don't people. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
No Son of Mine, I think, is actually the best song on this album. I don't know if you remember that song.
I do. For a second I was listening to it for the first time. I'm like, why does I know this song? And then it
It's
finally gets into
such a good song.
the
Yeah.
hook, and I'm like, yes,
You know, son
yes.
of mine.
And then
It's so
Jesus, He
good.
Knows Me, right off
Yes.
there, which isn't
Yes.
bad. It's not Spirit in the Sky that's my favorite Jesus song,
Dun, dun,
but
dun,
this might be
dun.
my second favorite Jesus song.
There wasn't, I mean, maybe if I gave it another shake now, but like, I'm pretty sure as a 10-year-old, I didn't get past those 3 songs. I was like, fast forward, I didn't.
And that was I
which is not a
feel
knock. I
a
mean,
lot of albums, but I've talked about it when we talked about
yeah,
1990. A lot of
yeah,
albums were one or two good songs. You'd be
yeah,
happy if it was three or four,
yeah.
and you bought it because there's no such thing as Spotify
That was
or
you wanted
YouTube.
to,
If
yeah.
you wanted those songs.
You could spend $3 and maybe get the single and then just, whatever, be out three
Yes.
bucks. Yeah, which is whatever. I had a couple of singles, but okay. Anything else about Sega? I mean, Genesis here?
No, no, I think that's good enough for them.
Okay. I will let you take. And honestly, you could trick people into telling them it's a Phil Collins album. But anyway, okay. Number six. I'll leave it up to you.
This
What's number six?
this album, I love this album. I have a lot of things to say about the band in general, but this
Okay,
number
please
six
do.
album, 10 Pearl Jam. Now, this album has a lot more than three or four fucking awesome songs on. I mean, this album
The whole
has,
album is
yes. My one
start to
thing I'll
finish.
say about Pearl Jam is that it's unfortunate for them, but the way I've always thought of them is they
Hmm.
are the Rolling Stones to the Nirvana's Beatles. Is when you think of the grunge in the early 90s, generally, if you're talking about bands, Nirvana comes first, Pearl Jam comes second. And it's nothing to knock of Pearl Jam, but when people
It's
talk about the British invasion,
mhm.
they don't go, oh yeah, they had the Stones and the Beatles. They say the Beatles and the Stones. If you talk about grunge, no one goes
Yeah.
Pearl Jam and Nirvana. They say Nirvana and Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam's
So,
obviously still playing.
well, yeah.
Eddie Vedder, sometimes you don't know what the fuck he's saying.
Well, Adam Sandler did his good,
He
his
does perfect.
excellent.
Oh yeah. Um, but
It's
yeah, I mean,
funny you
what can
say
you
that.
possibly say about this album? I mean, it has
I
every
mean, I could
song
say a
on it
lot.
is, well, I mean, every song
Well,
is
I want to hear what you want to say
great.
about the album. I want to say something first, though, only because you brought it up. We're gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come back to you. But uh,
I'm coming back to you.
I always thought of. I don't want to go down too deep down this because this could be a 10-minute discussion on its own. But I don't know if I looked at it as like Beatles were number one and the Stones were number two. I always looked at it as the Beatles were, and this is maybe my subjective take, but when I said, "Oh, Beatles, Stones, Beatles, Stones, which one are you?" Right? I always looked at, especially well, maybe earlier before they became hippies and stoners and stuff like that, and went to India. But the Beatles to me were always like the goody two shoes, right? They're like, "Oh, look, we got the nice haircuts,"
Mm.
and the Stones were kind of like, "Oh, look at those squares. We're doing, like George and John and Paul and Ringo were like wearing the suits. You would invite them to meet your parents. George, Keith and Mick were like doing blow off, hookers' asses,
Off
right? You
your
know what I'm saying?
parents,
You know what I'm saying, right? Like,
off your dad's
so
stomach, and they
I never
just
looked at it
met.
as like one over here, they were just better, number one. They were number two. I looked at like you were like the angel or the devil, right? These were the party
I
animals, the
see
ones you
that.
want to bring home. They were the
That's
bad
how I
boys.
never. That's how. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. If you think of it that way, my analogy doesn't fit, but my
That's right.
analogy
That's
always
why I said it
was,
because it would be the other way almost.
yeah. But the way I always thought about it was just like, when I thought of grunge, or when anyone talks about grunge, the first band that comes up is Nirvana,
Yeah.
and it
Yes.
just
Yes.
always
Yes.
will be.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Just like
Yeah.
when you think of the
Yeah.
British invasion, the first band is the Beatles, and I'm not saying it for bad or worse. I
Can
like both,
yeah.
but I feel
Yeah.
like Nirvana, and there's a reason. No spoiler alert,
Yeah. I was just gonna say it. Go ahead, say it. I know where you're going
but
with,
no,
but
I'm
you can
not
say
going to
it.
say it. But
Yeah,
Nirvana's
no,
also
I
on this
listen, it's
list.
like anything else. It's like James Dean or anybody that died young, Jim Morrison, right? Whoever, right? Listen, I'm not knocking Nirvana's music at all. This is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, unfortunately, they get the unfortunate benefit of you get more immortalized, right? When somebody in the band dies young. I don't know if Kurt Cobain was still alive today, would Nirvana be the first name that pops out of people's mouth? Who knows? We'll never know, but I think it's debatable at least, right? I think it's at least a topic of conversation. Um, I mean, Pearl Jam, I mean, honestly, Pearl Jam is the only band left of the original sort of five, right? Nirvana, no longer, right? Alice in
Yep.
Chains, no longer. Soundgarden, no longer. I mean,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Uh, I mean, they're all pretty much gone, other than Pearl Jam with the original singer. So anyway, this was their 10 was their debut album, which is even crazier because technically Nevermind wasn't their debut album. This was Pearl Jam's debut album.
Yes, that is
I mean, it wasn't. It
technically it
wasn't.
wasn't. You're right. You're right.
Um,
Bleach, right? Bleach is
Yes,
there.
right,
I
right.
have
And there was
that. Yeah.
Incesticide too, which
And also good. I have them
but
on
no, I mean, there's
CD.
Once is an amazing song, Even Flow is an amazing song, Alive, Jeremy. I mean, like, the band was everywhere, right? I mean, the
Yes.
videos were everywhere. I still live listening to this album. My favorite song on this album is not a hit. I love this song. It's the last song on the album, the song Released. Do you know that song? Love that
I
song.
I'm trying like I listened
I
to it
won't sing
again,
it. I'm
but
not gonna sing
I
it.
can't remember. It's not coming
It's
up
a
now.
great song. I love this album, but
No, it's
yeah,
great.
we can
But
stop. All right.
okay,
Want to go to
stop.
number five?
Sure,
I think
sure.
it's your
That's
turn.
you.
If
No,
not,
no,
oh,
no.
it's me?
It is
Okay,
your turn.
perfect.
Yes. Your favorite
Number
band.
five. I don't know. Where do you get that from? Okay, number five. So you two, how
Me?
do you, asshole. Achtung baby. Achtung baby. We'll call it Achtung baby. Achtung. My
Tongue.
Achtung. Um, uh, so this is I looked this up to make sure. It was their seventh album from the band.
There's too many at that point.
It was a lot, actually. They were pretty prolific in the early years.
Yes.
One was a very good song. I still think that's a really solid song. The song
That's a
one.
great, yeah, that's a good song.
Mysterious Ways was the big hit, right? Which
Yes.
right?
Which is
That's got
crazy
that.
because I would definitely have one over
Oh yeah, no,
Mysterious
no.
Ways.
Now I'm just saying. I think when it was out, I think Mysterious Ways
Oh,
was
oh,
just the single right off the album. But
yes.
honestly, the rest of the album,
It's I feel like this was one of those albums where U2 had their fans, seventh album, and you bought it because it was U2 and it had
uh,
two good singles on it. So you had people
yeah,
who maybe weren't listening to U2 were like,
yeah,
oh shit, I want to listen to Mysterious Ways
right,
whenever I want to
yeah,
and not have to hope for it showing up on the radio.
right,
Um,
right. I
or
mean, did you
MTV.
own this? Did you own this album?
No, no.
Do you remember any other
U2,
songs besides those two songs?
no, no. In fact, I think I only own like one or two YouTube albums and not even the classic ones. I own like All That You Can't Leave Behind.
I mean, listen, two
I admit
albums
it.
before this came out, it was Joshua Tree, which is two things. Joshua Tree was by far and is by far their best and most popular album. And it's also one of the most popular albums, best-selling
Yeah,
albums ever, right? I
yes.
mean, um, they went from that Joshua Tree to Rattle and Hum, which had a couple of good songs on it. But then this, to me, this was it's not bad, but this was sort of they were kind of unpopular for a while after that, right? They lost a little bit of popularity. That Zooropa came out after that, which I actually bought on CD, and I remember there was barely one
This
song, and I was like, "This is horrible. This is not great." They came back in popularity a little bit later. What was oh my God, Vertigo was a very big hit, right? That
it
whole
was,
album.
yeah, yeah.
But there
I
was
was never a U2 person, so it's
I
difficult
love
for me.
Joshua Tree, but this album is not. Like I said, you take out those two songs, and this album is kind of forgettable in my opinion. I'm sure there's
No,
YouTube
and you
fans
can
out
find
there.
those two songs on a greatest hits album and never have
Right,
to listen to this,
right.
which is one
So
of the albums I own of U2, just the greatest hits album.
there's a lot of good songs, right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
But this album, again, I don't. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't know if you have
Ach,
anything else.
tongue.
Achtung, Achtung, Achtung. Is it
I have the
Achtung?
phlegm. You need the phlegm for it.
Oh, you can read it. No, I was just clearing my throat.
Ach, mach, schwach.
All right. Anything else before we go to number four?
No, straight to
All right.
yogurt.
All right. Straight to
Um,
yogurt.
Speaking of greatest hits, this is almost unfair, but
Yeah.
somehow it's up there. Queen, Greatest Hits Volume 2 at
Volume
number
two.
4. And honestly, what are you supposed to say about Greatest Hits album? It's got
I
fucking
know.
great songs on
I
it.
know. I know.
So-
Well, I would make this argument that well, first of all, the first album, the first volume one had the bigger hits, obviously, right? Because you get to volume two. But just forget that for a second. Forget volume one was better. Okay. But the very fact that you even have enough songs to do two volumes of greatest
yes.
hits speaks for itself. Like some people are
Uh,
like greatest hits. I've had greatest hits albums where you buy the greatest hits in quotes. There's five good songs on this album. Where the fuck are these other songs?
I'm wondering because
They
I
have
didn't
two.
remember.
Two.
You have three. They actually released a third.
Oh my God. All right. Well, there you go. Even worse. Even better, I should say.
And I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but I would
Who
love to know the
wants to
sales. But
live
Freddie
forever?
Mercury died
Yeah.
November 24th, 1991. We're talking about 1991. Did that have anything to do with it? I don't
Well,
know.
this came out a month before he died,
Oh, so
or
never
less,
mind. It had nothing
a
to do
little.
with
I'm
it.
sorry. He actually, so I did a little research, right? So Freddie Mercury actually designed the cover of this album, and it was released less than a month before his death. So obviously, they were probably prepping this way before that, right? It was like, hey, a month before, let's release it, right?
Yeah.
But
How
yeah,
you feeling? We're thinking of releasing a greatest hits, and we want the sales to do well.
he was still actively involved in the band at that point. I mean, like you said, right? It does feel obvious to say there's so many hits on this album. It's a greatest hits album. And I wasn't sure. I wanted to double check because I wasn't sure. I wanted to say I was curious about Wayne's World and they had Bohemian Rhapsody. And I did look it up, so
Maybe.
I know the answer. But at first, when I was just doing research, I was said, wait, was this after or before? I was wondering, like, oh, did Wayne's World come out and have Bohemian Rhapsody, and then that made this sell more? But then it wasn't. Wayne's World came out a year later, right? Which made
Oh,
them blow up
okay.
again. Yeah, I
Yes.
wasn't sure. So that was 92, which makes sense. Which
Queen was huge in the early 90s just because I guess of his imminent past. I just remember everyone was talking about Queen when I was in
well,
elementary school.
I mean, all joking aside, I mean, look, it wasn't like Terminator big, right? But Wayne's World was a pretty popular movie in
Yeah.
92. And that soundtrack, I mean, probably mostly built off off of Bohemian Rhapsody, right? I mean, Queen has been a popular band since they basically broke, right? I mean, I don't think they've ever not really been popular since they became
Freddie
popular.
Mercury is one of the greatest voices of all
Uh,
time. Like
period.
maybe of
Period.
all time.
Full stop. Period. If you say
Maybe the
otherwise,
greatest.
you're not even worth listening to. Sincerely, right? But yeah, it's just crazy to think, right? I mean, what was that song? Wayne's World was 92, Bohemian Rhapsody was in the 70s. So at a minimum, you got a decade and a half, right? Basically, right? A
Yes.
decade and change,
Yes.
and it's still a number one hit. Yeah, I think that was even the big thing, right? Was it was a hit in 78, 79, whatever it was. And then, hey, 13 years later, whatever, right? It's a hit again based on Wayne's World. So, Under Pressure is on this album. Who Wants to Live Forever? Hammer to Fall. I mean, yeah.
Just
What do you
yeah.
say about greatest hits? It wasn't like they
Yeah.
wrote them for this
They're the
album.
best. There you go.
Yes. Queen
There
is a
you go.
great band. If you don't listen to Queen or don't know who they are, I don't understand how you're even
You.
listening to this podcast. I just don't understand in general. Let's go to number three.
Number three by the King of Pop,
The king,
R.I.P.
not the king of all
Dangerous.
media.
No. King of Pop, Dangerous. And
Dangerous.
the album
Michael
had
Jackson.
black or white on it. So that
It
right
did.
there. Remember the time I just showed that video to my girls for
Yes.
the first time. What
But
a
they
great
did
video.
they like move at all? I mean,
They did. They
is
loved
it
it. They
connect?
wanted to
Okay,
get more
okay,
of it. They wanted to get
okay,
more of it.
okay.
Um, I mean,
Just for this podcast, or just you happen to just put it on?
I just happened to put it on. I just
Okay.
happened. I'm like, oh, I want to see what. Well, because the kids at school were talking about Michael Jackson, and
Yeah,
they
because
don't
the
know who
movie.
the
Yeah,
hell
yeah, yeah,
Michael
yeah,
Jackson
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. The
Um,
movie's out, Michael.
yes. So I'm like, oh, let me show you some videos because I've shown them Smooth Criminal back in the day
Yeah.
because that's like my favorite Michael Jackson song,
Yes.
and the video's
That's it.
amazing.
You mean the Alien Ant Farm song?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
That
covered by
Michael
Michael
Jackson
Jackson.
covered. Yeah, of
Correct.
course.
Um,
The Monkees, they
and
were a major influence on the Beatles. Sorry, go ahead.
they were. If not for Mickey Dolenz, I don't know where we'd be. Um, I don't know how to finish that sentence now that I was saying
You were
before.
talking about Black and White, you were talking about Remember
Yeah,
the Time.
yeah. It
Yeah.
just basically Michael Jackson couldn't release an album, even if not all of them were top of the chart hits.
Yeah.
He couldn't
Yeah.
release an album back then that wasn't going to be wildly,
Those are
amazingly popular. But it was a good album. It wasn't his best
I
album.
I think this is sort of the last album that I really remember sticking in my head and having hits on it. I don't really remember. I'm not saying there weren't. I just don't
Leave Me
remember.
Alone was Leave Me Alone. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think is that it? I think
Oh
that's on
no,
bad. That's on
you're
bad.
right. You're right. You're right. But I guess they made it. I'm
Leave
just
Me Alone is a
remembering that
phenomenal song. It's
that
not
the
on this
song,
album, but it's a
yeah, so
phenomenal
never mind.
song.
I just remember the video had the same
Yeah, yeah,
look
yeah. With
as
him
the
and Bubbles.
Dangerous
Yeah.
album cover. So
I will say this. I don't know if you feel this way. I remember, but at least, but again, I was 10 or 11 when this came out. By the time this album came out, you didn't really want to be like you wouldn't have been cool if you went to school and be like you got dangerous. People were like people were listening to Pearl Jam and Nirvana and Metallica. Nobody was like you danger. I don't know, man. At
yeah,
10 or
yeah,
11, nobody you didn't really go and kind of talk about Michael Jackson.
I
I
don't
hate to
know.
say it.
Michael Jackson, maybe the schools are different, maybe, but I still remember
The mean streets of New
watching
Jersey.
watching no, I was still this is 90, but I remember like Michael Jackson videos were events. Like I remember
Was
watching In Living Color, and at the
hmm
end of In Living Color, you'd be like, "Oh, watching In Living Color between Living Color and The Simpsons or whatever. We're gonna play the new music video for Michael Jackson." And like that was always still a big thing, and that was definitely in the early 90s that I
was
remember.
that was this the one where the infamous video where they had I forget it was like after The Simpsons or before The Simpsons or something like that. It was like 9 o'clock on a Sunday where they had the video and then at the end of the video he's dancing on the car,
And he's beating the
grabbing
shit
his
out of the car, and he
crotch.
turns into a
Is that
panther.
this
And
one? Is that this album?
God, I really wish I had done research to tell you. I didn't know I would talk about this like that.
I just
But
popped in my head
and then In Living
right
Color made
now.
fun of that. I remember that.
Oh, did they?
Uh,
They did a parody
yes, they
of
did.
that?
They did a parody of that. Yes.
Yeah, so it was. I'm looking at it right now. Michael Jackson
Okay.
Breaking the Car was sequence from his 1991 song Black or White. So yeah,
Yeah. Yes, that's
which
right.
yeah, and I remember that it's a totally different vibe, right? Like to have a video black and white and they're doing that face morphing thing in the music video, right? Where I
Yeah.
remember
It's like
everybody's face, like
it's
the white
black.
girl
It's
changes into
white.
the black guy changes into an
Huh?
Asian
Yeah,
person turns
yeah,
into
yeah.
the Indian
Yeah,
woman, right?
it's they're bopping up and down. All of a sudden, he's beating the shit out of
Like
the
this is pretty,
car,
and then he's just
groping
masturbating.
himself,
Um, I got to be honest with you. I
groping
remember
himself.
watching that video. I think I watched it like with my parents, my whole family, me, my mom, my dad, my brother, and I think my grandma and my grandpa, right?
It was your
And then
grandma's
that
favorite
part
scene.
that came on, and I remember I couldn't really even place why, but I remember like feeling this is weird. I remember like no, like it wasn't like I couldn't
Why
my
is that
brain
young man grabbing his
at
crotch
10
so?
years old, I just remember feeling awkward watching that. I'm like, this is
This is
kind of
wrong.
cool, but it's kind of I don't want to be in the room with these other people right now while this is on.
Yes, yeah. This
Um,
feels like a sex scene, and it's
Yeah, it
not,
just
but it
it
feels like
just it's like half of my brain wanted to keep watching it. The other part was like, please let this be over soon. Please let
where
this
were
be over.
you when you
Or please,
saw Michael Jackson beat up a car and morph into
please.
a panther after he
I
grabbed
was in
his
the
crotch?
room with
I was in my
my.
grandma's house in her bedroom watching it by
Do you remember
myself.
watching this live?
Watching it by myself
Oh,
because we were still at
okay.
my grandma's house. So I'm
Okay.
like, I'm gonna watch this. And I went into her bedroom and I watched because I'm like, I remember it was gonna be on. I gotta see this.
Yeah, of course. Everybody. Yeah, 100%. This was yeah.
And it
And
was
now
really weird. Thankfully, I watched it by myself, but it was really weird.
you didn't. You haven't lived
I
Jordan
changed. The
until
chemistry changed. I'm the person I am today because I watched
something
that by
awoke in
myself.
Jordan. Yeah, I remember you. Then you went out and you wanted to open that that theme park in your backyard.
And I would have gotten
Uh,
away with it too.
is that before? That was right before you bought your pet chimpanzee, right?
The chimpanzee. Bubbles
Bubbles.
too.
All right, he's still alive, actually, supposedly. Yeah, but that video was just it made me super uncomfortable. I didn't remember why, and then a few years later I realized, yeah, that was why. So anyway, okay, so I think we've said enough about Michael Jackson's masturbation video, unless there's anything else you want to add
I
before
mean,
we move to number
as
two.
far as I know, nothing newsworthy happened about with Michael Jackson after this. So very quiet life from
Just
this point on.
semi-retirement.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they made a nice movie this year about him. Okay, number two, I don't remember, so I'll just give it to you because I'll get to steal number one. What was the number two album for 1991, Jordan?
Nirvana, Nevermind, with an album cover that you still feel awkward having it on your shelf. Um,
Yeah, are they
I
still having lawsuits that will never end about this album cover, the
I don't
Nevermind album cover?
know, but the price wasn't even put on the right spot. I had to like cover that little baby wee wee that my girls found, and they're like, "Daddy," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to explain this album to them
You know
now."
what's hilarious about that is that I had this on CD and I didn't worry about that, but I remember taking a pen and crossing off the word pissings on the back of
That was
territorial
it.
pissings. Yeah, that was apparently what I was
My
concerned
my parents are
that
gonna
my
be
mom
cool
was
with
going to
the baby
find.
penis.
It was
Pissing.
so small. I mean, well, literally,
I mean, come on.
in many ways, it was small because it was the baby penis, but it was also small because
Considering
it
in the
was
pool
the cow
there was
and the pool.
shrinkage.
There's shrinkage, and the album cover was there's shrinkage. Do women know about shrinkage? And then the album cover was like 3 inches wide. I mean, who cares? I
Yes.
mean, what do you say about this album, Jordan? It's impossible, but try, give it
I
a try.
mean, this was where pretty much if you didn't know them before, which a lot of people didn't, because those two
I
albums
didn't.
really,
I
I didn't
won't
know
lie.
them before.
I'm not gonna be one of those people
Um,
like, oh, I was in Nirvana. I wasn't.
this was, you know, I still remember my babysitter who was older than me, you know, cluing me in to this like, it's
Oh,
like,
this album. I thought
oh,
she
you
was
need
cluing you
to,
into something else.
no, she's clue. It's like,
Your
oh,
blossoming
we're
manhood.
like watching
Yeah.
MTV. She's like, oh, you gotta watch this, and it was the music video for I think, oh, wow,
Well,
which one was it?
not to be.
I think In Bloom. I think it's the one In Bloom where they're dressed up
How
as
much
like,
older was she than you? Your babysitter. Like old enough to be like
um,
cool. You know, like she was like 15. You
she
were
was in
like
her, I
8.
remember she being like in her, I think she was a teenager or
Okay,
something
so she was old.
when I was,
Okay.
yeah, so she was older than me. I mean, I was maybe 10.
Okay.
or
Well, no, I
11,
mean, like, how old was she? Like,
maybe
was she a
younger,
teenager
maybe
when this
younger.
happened? Okay.
Yeah, no,
It was
she
In
was,
Bloom was the one. Yeah, where
yeah,
they were
in
dressed up like
Bloom.
on the
She like
block
she
as Sullivan.
introduced me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was like my introduction to it. So obviously, it was the introduction to was Nevermind. But what can you possibly say about this album
Really?
that
So you
hasn't been
heard
said?
In Bloom before Smells
Well,
Like
I
Teen
think
Spirit?
that might have been the one that I you know,
It's
I
hard.
don't
It's
even
hard. Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
I
It's
just
hard to.
remember her telling me to keep that song on and to watch it.
I'll use one of your, I guess, expressions, right? Is like you said this many times, and I think it's accurate here. I don't remember a time at this point without Nirvana, right? At this point.
I mean, at this point, it's been 30 years.
Right, right. I
No,
mean, there
yeah,
was,
30 years,
I hate to use this because it is kind of cliche, but I think it's accurate here.
35 years.
I think Nirvana is one of those bands, right? Like maybe the Beatles and maybe Led Zeppelin and maybe Nirvana, right? It's one of those bands there's before Nirvana and there's after Nirvana. There just
Yes,
is.
it completely changed music.
100%.
Um, I mean,
I think
ripped
about,
jeans and flannel shirts, and its fashion was changed, and
which I
what
mean,
people
yeah,
wanted to wear was changed. The
people are
music
still
was
wearing it. Yeah.
changed. Um,
But I think, I think about this a lot, right? Is that, and I don't think this applies to every band on this list, but it does with this one. It's impossible, and I mean this for real. It's impossible if you were alive, like we were, right? I was again 10 or 11 when this album came out. If you were alive and old enough, not like 3 or 4, if you were, hey, I can go out and buy my own CDs or ask for a CD, right? If you were there when this album broke, when this band broke, it is borderline impossible to explain to someone that was not there how big this album was, how big this band was. When this album broke, right? It was basically here was music for a good 2 to 3 year period. There was Nirvana on the top, and then there was just
yeah,
everybody else. That's it. You were either Nirvana, and then it was just everybody
and
else.
and the
Period.
music that was being made changed immediately. I mean,
100%.
because this was like those this the late 80s. There were still bands with like stupid hair, and they were still towards the end of glam rock.
Stewart. That was Winger shirt.
Yes, yeah, you still had that shit, and then Nirvana came out. It's like, really, you're still wearing leather pants?
Yeah.
You sure you still want to do that? Because no one else is doing that anymore.
No, but I mean, there was, yeah, here's a better, simpler way to say it. They were full stop the biggest band in the world for about 3 years, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
That was it. There was nobody even close to their popularity. They just
no,
weren't.
no.
Nirvana was
But
everything.
it's still a goddamn awesome album.
Come as you are, In Bloom, Breathe, Smells Like Teen Spirit. I mean,
Holly, one of my
Holly.
love that song.
There's really maybe one, maybe two at most filler songs. But this is another album you could pretty much play it start to finish and not be like, ugh,
Yeah,
skip.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
really.
So good,
There's a funny
so
story, and
good.
I'll share this real quick. I wasn't going to, but then I decided since we have a little bit of time, I'm going to share it with you. So, Butch Vig, who was the producer of this album, if you listen to Utero, right, which is the album after this, right, that was a much more punk sounding album, right, very much more raw. This is a little bit more of a polished album, right, has a lot of harmonies, right, things like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Kurt Cobain did not want to do harmonies, right? Butch Vig wanted him to do harmonies, wanted to make it sound a little more polished, a little more my words, not his, a little more Queen-esque, right? More harmonies, make it sound more commercial. Kurt Cobain did not
mm,
want to do that. So to trick him into doing that, he would sing his vocal part, and he said, that's cool, but why don't we try it another way? Why don't you sing it like this and see how that sounds? So he thought he was basically singing an alternate version of the lead vocal line, right? That's the
yeah,
story that goes, right? Like, oh, okay, why don't you try it this way? But he was really recording that and keeping them and making them harmonize, and then afterwards he kind of put them on there. Like, so he tricked them kind of. I'm sure he found out, pretty quickly what he was doing, but yeah, he didn't want it to
yeah.
sound as polished as he did, which is why the next album sounds completely different. But anyway, it's a boring story for everybody out there. Number one, actually, you know what? I changed my mind, Jordan. I'm gonna let you explain what number one is. Why not? I'm feeling generous tonight, so
All right.
you can take number two and number one.
Number one has, I mean, there's a
Just,
group of people who still have these t-shirts and they wear them all the time. Um,
I'm sorry, all I thought about was Spinal Tap right now.
but it's Metallica,
Yes,
Metallica, the Black Album as it's referred
yes,
to by those
yes.
in the know, which to me, I was never a heavy metal guy. The only song off this album that has any meaning to me
Uh,
is as a New York Yankees fan, both Enter Sandman and
okay.
hearing that song and
Okay.
knowing that the greatest closer of all time, Mariano Rivera, is about to end a game. Other
So
than that, all the songs pretty much, and this is going to get people pissed off,
I don't
they pretty
care.
much sound the same.
Then
They
start their
sound the
own
same.
podcast and you can say whatever you want if
They
you don't
sound the
like it.
same to me. I feel like every Metallica song has a formula to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could say that about every band to a degree. I I want to say something I'm going to jump around a lot here because this is the number one album, so we'll maybe spend a little more time on this. Not that it means we like it, but Enter Sandman, you probably don't know this, but if you're a guitar player or musician, this is not a joke. If Enter Sandman is the number one A, maybe one B song that if you go into any guitar store in the world, you just don't play that riff, the Enter Sandman riff. It will look at you immediately as a hack and doesn't know what you're. That's not a joke. You
Like Stairway? No
yes,
Stairway?
yeah,
Denied.
denied. You cannot go if you have any desire for anybody to take you seriously as a guitar player, you play that riff, they immediately just write you off. Yeah, I'm not a Metallica fan, which is funny because I again I was well aware. I was in middle school when this album came out, right? I was big into guitar, and I remember, I talked to other guitar players, other musicians in that era, and it's, oh, who's your favorite, who's your favorite band, who's your favorite guitar? Everybody wanted to get a feel for who do you like, who do you want to play like, right? And then everybody in the school knew I played guitar, and then I would tell them I don't like Metallica, and it was like the brains didn't compute. Like, how do you like guitar? And you don't like no, how do you don't like Metallica? Kirk Hammett is fucking sick. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't Metallica doesn't do anything. It doesn't do
It
anything
never
for me.
did. It still
It
doesn't really
just
do anything
doesn't.
for me.
I want to be clear. I don't think this album is bad. I don't think it sucks. I don't think they're bad musicians. I just Metallica does nothing for me. It never did. I've never owned one album. I've never bought an album. Nobody ever gave it to me. At the
No.
same time, there are good songs on this album. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like them, but the band, I mean, right? But there are
Yeah.
good songs. Enter Sandman. I mean, look, that's an iconic song. It's a great song. Whatever. I know it's not the cool master puppet. Whatever. Enter Sandman's a great song. Sad but True is a good song. Wherever I May Roam is a good song. I think there's some good songs on it. I'm not a fan of Metallica, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like every song sucks. I don't think that. I just don't
No, I
like
think
that
neither
music.
do I, but I'm just not. I mean, just not a Metallica guy.
No,
There's
no.
Metallica guys have a certain, you know, a Metallica guy when you see one.
Is that like
I'll just
Florida
say
Man?
Metallica.
There's Florida Man, and then there's
Yeah,
Metallica guy.
he's a Metallica guy. He
They
still
actually
has a chain
they could be the
that
same
attaches
person.
that
The
he still has a
chain
wallet,
wallet.
still has a wallet chain. Um,
Doc Martens,
he still wears
black
like
Levi's.
black. He wears jorts, but they're black,
Well, they started out as black
black
Levi's,
black jean jorts.
and then
Yes,
he converted them into jorts.
they wear black even in the summer. It's 90 degrees and they're still wearing black. They probably own an Iron Maiden shirt also.
Oh no, they own the denim vest with no sleeves, sort of Eddie Munson
Yes,
esque.
yes.
Um, yeah,
Or if they don't wear it, but they still own it. It's in the closet. The wife wants them to get rid of it. They won't. It reminds them of simpler days.
this patch I bought, I got this on the and Justice for All tour. Fucking ride the lightning. I will say this again. I am happy to admit that there are some good songs on this album, even though I don't like Metallica overall. But Nothing Else Matters is not a good song. It's so fucking over dramatic. It's like,
It's over
and
dramatic. I was listening
nothing
to it
else
again and
matters. I'm
I
like,
was still
this song.
waiting for it to like hit something and it never came. It never
That
came.
that opening riff, that acoustic riff, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. You don't need to touch. You don't need to use your left hand at all to play that opening riff. You can play there's four strings. You can just play open in order. I could teach you to play that in 10 seconds. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a guitar player. I'm like, could you be any more hokey than this? Like, I could have written
Nothing
that the first
else
week of playing it. We're gonna
matters.
get so much hate because I know people who
Yeah,
listen
this
to this
is
who are
that's
Metallica
Metallica.
fans.
Metallica is one of those bands that either no one is just I'm Metallica.
No one's a no one's a casual listener of Metallica.
You either listen to
You
Metallica
either
like I
ride the
do, where I'm
lightning.
like, oh, Mariano Rivera, yeah, or you don't think about them at all, or you are absolutely fucking obsessed with Metallica, and you will
The
talk to anyone about Metallica. If they happen to mention Metallica, they will explain
that's
why they're the greatest band of all time.
It's like the same thing about how do you know if somebody's a fan of The Wire? Because they'll tell you.
Yes. How do you know if someone does CrossFit? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
You know what the bad thing is about Metallica? I don't want to shit on Metallica, but I'm going to a little bit here.
The number one album. Let's keep shitting.
You paint yourself into a corner hard with the name Metallica. You can't name your band Metallica with fucking lightning bolts in your logo and then release like I don't know an acoustic album
Nothing else
or a
matters.
piano. No, you just can't. You can't
There's no
unplug.
power ballads when you're Metallica.
You can't. You've kind of commit. It's like The Cure. I actually love The Cure. I love The Cure. The Cure is a
But
phenomenal
yes,
band,
you're going
but
to
you
be
can't.
67 years
But
old
that's what I'm
with black
saying.
eyeliner.
Right. And I genuinely love The Cure, but even as I'm a massive Cure fan, but even like now I'm like the music is still great, but I watch him at, like in his late 60s with the fucking hair and the eyeliner. And I'm like, it looks so stupid, dude. It's
You had to
Metallica's the
go to
same way.
CVS before, and it's not for Gatorade. It was for eyeliner, which is fine. But at some point, you know what it is? At some point, it's the kitsch. I'm not pronouncing it right, but like it's the act.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Kiss had
Yeah.
the
The shtick.
makeup,
It's the
Metallica,
shtick.
yeah, the shtick.
Yeah.
Metallica had the
Yeah.
all black, and
Yeah.
the Cure had the makeup. Like, but it's like you shouldn't
Lick
have
it
to
up.
have you shouldn't
Lick
have to
it up.
have a um, have a thing.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Please,
Uh,
Metallica fans, don't beat me up. But you know,
well, the good thing is that most of the people who were Metallica fans when this album came out now probably have arthritis, and
that is
bad
good. I'll just
bad shoulders and just bad knees, so they might not be able to beat us up
from
anymore.
being in the mosh pit,
There,
whatever the hell they
yeah,
did.
there were people with the trench coats, and Metallica was huge when I was in my high school. I mean, I 75% of the males in my school listened to Metallica. The rest probably couldn't spell Metallica, and then there was a few people who were like ahead of the curve listening to like rap and things like that. But I was one of the. I had to just I'm like, yeah, yeah, fucking Metallica, and deep down, I'm like,
Yeah,
this shit sucks. But anyway, I'm sorry. I know we are in the minority with this, but again, objectively, there are some good songs, but subjectively, Metallica never will do anything for me. It's just not my cup of tea.
yeah.
But anyway, that's enough. I don't know. I just turned into a
That is
Metallica shit
all.
session. Anything else you want to say? Anything you want to add here before we wrap up? 1991 and 1992 will be coming soon.
No, I'm just looking forward to seeing where the next year takes us.
I am too. I don't want to. I won't look until we do that because I want to be surprised. But all right. I'm gonna wrap up here. I do want to thank. We had a lot of comments. I think our last episode alone had like 13 comments on it. So we love the comments. Please feel free to anything. I started doing some polls too on episodes, asking what people might want to hear more about, if they prefer different topics. One of the ones that I did was I said, "Hey, what's the next mobster movie you might want to hear?" So if you see the polls out there on Spotify, feel free to respond to those. We're gonna have a few more guests coming up in the next few weeks. I have a few of those lined up as well. We have the website, movies, music, and middleage.com, all one word. From there, you can get to our YouTube, you can get to our Spotify, Apple. Yeah, basically everything. Send us email. Please follow, like, and subscribe. Tell your friends. Sign up. Anything you want to drop before we
Hit
wrap
that
up here?
subscribe button. Make sure you get all
Smash
set
it.
up for all the alerts. Smash it.
Smash, smash
Smash
that
it.
like button.
Like you're smashing a guitar.
Or like it owes you money.
It owes you money, like it played Enter
Like Garth,
Sandman.
smash that, smash that like and subscribe button like Garth Brooks smashes
Smashes
his. I don't
smashes
know. I
those
have nothing.
hits.
That's
All right.
all right. Thank you, everybody. We love you guys listening, and we'll see you all next week. Take care, guys.
Bye.